first summit that we had in Orlando with my mom coming as a surprise was a big deal. If we didn't get that first summit right, we probably wouldn't have existed beyond that. So I'm happy. I want to thank my mom for that.
The first summit with, I did not know that as a sponsor, I was going to be able to be with Barbara Bush. And so, I go into the picture line with a friend, and the next thing I know, I'm with Barbara Bush and Jeb Bush. It was an amazing photo. I still have it on my wall. It's pretty cool.
The summit last year, which included the people who are part of the space in which I operate, which is the introduction of technology as an integral part of the curriculum.
My favorite summit has to be the first one when I got to meet Governor Bush for the first time.
I remember a few years ago when I stood with Condoleezza Rice and just talking to her about music and music education and giving kids self-esteem. It was just a very down-to-earth discussion. Really got to know her better, and it was an exciting experience for me.
More than anything, why I don't miss this meeting, it is a must-go-to meeting every year, is because it is such an incredible combination of just inspirational sessions where you're hearing from some of the world's greatest thinkers and thought leaders around issues that are so pertinent and timely. And at the same time, you have this gathering of the states and national decision makers and policy makers that are sitting in there with you, listening to these stories and being inspired.
Going back to the very beginning of having Governor Bush, every time he comes up and speaks, with all the great speakers that have come through, it's just the impact that he's had on education in our state and in our country now is incredible. So it's just, that's always the most impactful when he gets up and speaks.
I think it's a global feeling of how education reform and the community around education reform has grown, come together, and at this summit there's that opportunity to learn, grow, and build together, and you see the momentum behind that over a 10-year period.
Arthur Brooks from the American Enterprise Institute, when he has talked about not only the importance of education, but the importance of how people find themselves and how the paths are not always exactly what we would think they would be, using his own life as an example. I think it's really powerful as we do the work we do.
I managed to talk about video games in the middle of it, as a metaphor for customization. There are not a lot of other places I could go and have that conversation and people would know what I was talking about, but this has always been one of them.
Today, during Clay Christensen's, it was heartfelt, it was inspirational, it was something that at the state level I needed to hear that message.
Last year with Todd Rose and his book End of Average really was a moving book for us. I actually ended up giving copies to all my principals in my schools, and we sort of read it together. And it helped influence our work around personalized learning and the fact that, a one-size-fits-all model does not work for all kids. And so that was my best takeaway.
We're thinking about how to glue together all of the silos in education. So with my background being a teacher, I feel like that we've been fragmented for so long. So this conference is bringing a lot of hope.
The importance of resources following kids, because that's why we devote money to education. It's for the kids, it's not for the adults.
I remember an interesting conversation with Rex Tillerson when he was Exxon CEO, talking about the importance of high standards. Of course, Governor Bush's leadership and inspirational speeches over the years stand out also.